Hi everybody, today we will continue the solution chapter and today I will discuss the colligative properties. All of you know about colligative properties. The properties of a solution or dilute solution which mainly depends upon the number of particles and not on their chemical nature are called colligative properties. Now how many colligative properties are there? Some important colligative properties are relative lowering of vapor pressure, elevation of boiling point, depression of freezing point and osmotic pressure. First we will discuss the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. We have already discussed what is vapor pressure. Now the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of the solution. Mole fraction of the solute. Okay. Now according to Raoult's law, what we know that P is equal to P0 into X1. Now what is P? P is the solvent vapor pressure of the solution, that means vapor pressure of the solution, and P0 is the vapor pressure of the pure solvent and X1 is the mole fraction of the solvent. Now what will be the lowering of vapor pressure? Lowering of vapor pressure will be delta P, lowering of vapor pressure will be delta P will be equal to P0 minus P. P0 minus P. Okay. Now we know that P is equal to P0 into X1. So if we take the P0 common, 1 minus X1, we know that mole fraction that X1 plus X2 is equal to 1. So from here we can write that P0 into X2. Now lowering of vapor pressure will be delta P is the lowering divided by pressure of the pure solvent, that is P0. So if we write, that will be P0 minus P divided by P0. Now just now we have calculated P0 minus P is equal to P0 into X2. That will be equal to divided by P0. You cut P0, so it will be equal to X2. That is the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of the solute. Okay, hope you can understand. Next we will discuss that the mole fraction X2 we can write N2 by N1 plus N2. Okay. Now we can again write this relative lowering of vapor pressure, that is P0 minus P by P0 is equal to N2 by N1 plus N2. This is the another form. Okay. Now if N1 is the number of moles of solvent and N2 is the number of moles of the solute, if the solution is very dilute, so for very dilute solution we can tell that N1 is greater than N2, so N2 is negligible, that we can take. So hence we can write that this P0 relative lowering of vapor pressure P0 minus P by P0 is equal to N2 by N1. So for a definite quantity of solvent, both this N1 and P0 are constant. So from here we can write that P0 minus P is proportional to N2. Okay. So that we can write. So lowering of vapor pressure is directly proportional to the number of moles of the solute. Next we will discuss the determination of molecular mass of solute from vapor pressure lowering. Now let us consider W2 gram of a solute, W2 gram of solute, okay, of molecular mass M2. Is dissolved in W1 gram W1 gram solvent, okay, of molecular mass M1. So from here we can write that P0 minus P divided by P0 is equal to, we know that N2 divided by N1 plus N2. So N2 is the number of mole of solute. So here we will write that W2 by M2 divided by W1 by M1 plus W2 by M2. Okay. So for very dilute solution, N2 can be neglected. So for very dilute solution, is N2 can be neglected. Can be neglected. So from here we can write that P0 minus P, relative lowering of vapor pressure, is equal to, we can write that N2 by N1, that will be equal to W2 by M2 divided by W1 by M1. Now if we arrange this thing, we will get that M2 is equal to P0 divided by P0 minus P into W2 divided by M1, okay, sorry, W2 by W1 into M1. So we are just arranging this equation. So from here we can easily write that W2 by M2 is equal into M1 by W1. Okay. From here we are writing that M2 is equal to P0 divided by P0 minus P into W2 by W1 into M1. Now if we know the values of this P0, P, W2, W1 and M1, we can easily calculate the molecular weight of the solute, that is M2. So in this way we have to practice we can calculate the mass of the solute, and we have to practice numerical. Okay, numericals may come from this part. So after computing all these colligative properties, we will discuss the numericals here also. Next we will discuss the another colligative property, that is called elevation of boiling point. Elevation of boiling point. First we have to know what is boiling point. Boiling point is the temperature at which vapor pressure of a liquid becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure, is called its boiling point. Okay. So now the addition of a non-volatile solute to the volatile solvent lowers its vapor pressure. As a result, vapor pressure of the solution will become equal to the external pressure at a higher temperature. Hence the boiling point of the solution will be higher than that of the pure solvent. Now the difference between the boiling point and the solution of the solution and the pure solvent is known as the elevation of boiling point of the solution. Okay. So here one graph is there. From this graph we can easily understand this thing. So here in this graph the vapor pressure and temperature curves are plotted. So here x-axis the temperature and y-axis we have plotted the vapor pressure. Okay. Now here the curve ABC. This curve shows the variation of vapor pressure, okay, with temperature of pure solvent. So this is the curve for pure solvent. And just below that curve DEF, okay, is showing the variation of the vapor pressure of the solution. Okay. Now let TB0, okay, is the boiling point of the pure solvent because it is equal to the 1 atmospheric pressure. So this TB0 is the boiling point of the pure solvent. Now vapor pressure of the solution will be always less. Okay. Now what is the vapor pressure is here P, it is always less. But what is the boiling point of the solution? If we extend it, we will get this, that is a TB. TB is the boiling point of the solution. Thus the TB minus TB0, that we call delta TB. That is the elevation of boiling point. So pure solvent boiling point is TB0, that is lower, and TB is higher, that is the boiling point of the solution. So TB minus TB0 is called the elevation of boiling point of the solution. So this difference is called delta TB. Okay. So next we will discuss that the delta TB is proportional to M. Actually from experiment we will find that thing. The experimental revealed that elevation of boiling point delta TB is directly proportional to the molar concentration. M is the molar concentration of the solution. So from here we can write that delta TB is equal to some constant into M. That Kb is called the ebullioscopic constant. Okay. Or this ebullioscopic constant can be defined as, if we take that M is equal to 1, then delta TB is equal to Kb. So we can define that ebullioscopic constant or molar elevation constant as the elevation of boiling point when the molality of the solution is 1 or unity. So value of Kb depends upon the TB0 as well as the latent heat of vaporization, and it varies from solvent to solvent. For measuring delta TB, ordinary thermometer cannot be used. So we have to use very sensitive thermometer like Beckman thermometer. Next we will discuss the limitation of this ebullioscopy method. Okay. So here solution should obey the Raoult's law. Next limitation is that solution should not be volatile. Solution should be dilute, and solution should not undergo any dissociation or association. If we write the Kb value for water, Kb value for water is 0.52 Kelvin kg per mole inverse. So this sometimes in numerical this value may not be given. So that is why better you try to remember this value, that Kb value for water, this is for water, 0.52 Kelvin kg mole inverse. Kb can be calculated from the following relation. That derivation is not in your syllabus. You only have to remember the relation. Okay. So Kb is equal to, we can write that M1 into R into TB 0 square divided by delta vaporization H into 1000. Now here M1 is the molar mass of the solvent, R is the gas constant, Tb0 is the boiling point of the solvent, pure solvent, and delta vaporization H is the molar enthalpy of vaporization of solvent. And another relation is there, that is Kb is equal to R into Tb0 square divided by 1000 into LV. Here R is the gas constant, Tb0 is the boiling point of the solvent, and LV is the latent heat of vaporization of pure solvent per gram. Okay, so you have to remember these two relations. Okay, numericals may come from this relation. So next we will discuss that by measuring the boiling point of elevation of a solution of a unknown concentration, it is possible to calculate the molecular weight of a non-volatile solute. Okay, so we know that delta Tb is equal to Kb into M. So now we can write here the value of M, that will be Kb into 1000 into W2 divided by W1 into M2. Okay. Now what will be the value of M2 here? So from here we can write the value of M2 will be Kb into 1000 into W2 divided by M1 divided by delta Tb into W1. Okay, so here M2 is the molecular weight of the non-volatile solute and W2 is the weight of the non-volatile solute. Okay, and W1 is the weight of the solvent. So in this way we can calculate the molecular weight of a non-volatile solute. So this expression you have to also remember. Okay, derivation not required. From here you can also write. Next we will discuss the another colligative property, that is depression of freezing point. Depression of freezing point. Now what is freezing point? The temperature at which vapor pressure of a liquid becomes equal to the vapor pressure of its solid form is called the freezing point. Since the vapor pressure of solution having non-volatile solute is less than the vapor pressure of pure solvent, so the freezing point of solution will be less than that of the solvent. Now the difference in the freezing point of the solution and solvent is called the depression of freezing point. Here one graph is there about the depression of freezing point. So here we have plotted the vapor pressure along the y-axis and x-axis the temperature. Now the curve AB, that AB curve, this curve is showing the pressure, vapor pressure of the liquid solvent, and the portion BC, okay, is showing the vapor pressure of the solid solvent. Okay. Now these two curves intersect at the point B, where the vapor pressure of liquid solvent and the solid solvent are equal, and the temperature TF0, okay, corresponding to this vapor pressure P0, and is the freezing point of the pure solvent, and the vapor pressure curve lies below the curve for the pure solvent and is represented by DEF. Okay, so here you can understand that this vapor pressure pure solvent P0, okay, so the freezing point is TF0, and in case of solution the TF is the freezing point. Okay, so from this figure it is clear that the difference, that is TF0 minus TF, okay, that is called delta TF, and delta TF is the or represents the depression of the freezing point. So here we can write that TF0 minus TF is equal to delta TF, and this delta TF is called the depression of freezing point. Now we know that from experiment that delta TF is proportional to molarity of the solution. Okay, M, molarity of the solution. Now TF we can write delta TF is equal to some constant. Okay, that is Kf into M, and this Kf is called the molar depression constant, or it is called cryoscopic constant. Now here if we put M is equal to 1, then we can write delta TF is equal to Kf. So from here we can give the definition, okay, that the cryoscopic constant may be defined as the depression in freezing point, is the depression in freezing point when molarity of the solution is unity. Now this Kf value for different solution will be solvent will be different. Okay, now if we write the Kf value for water, that will be equal to 1.86 Kelvin kg mole inverse. Here also you try to remember this value for water, because sometimes it may not be supplied. The value of Kf differs from solvent to solvent and depends upon the TF0 square and latent heat of fusion. Ordinary thermometer cannot be used to measure this delta TF because this value is very small. Extremely sensitive thermometer like the Beckman thermometer, okay, we can use here to measure this delta TF value. Now there are also limitations like ebullioscopic method also. In this cryoscopic method there are also some limitations. First one, it should obey the Raoult's law. Okay, the solute should be non-volatile and solution should be dilute, and solute should not undergo any dissociation or association. Now there are some relations by which we can easily calculate the Kf value. So this relation again you have to remember. First relation I am writing that Kf is equal to M1 R TF0 square divided by delta FH into 1000. Now in this relation, M1 is the molar mass of the solvent, R is the gas constant, and TF0 is the freezing point of the solvent, and delta FH is the molar enthalpy of fusion of solvent. And another relation we can write that Kf is equal to R into TF0 square divided by 1000 into LF. Now here R is the gas constant, TF0 is the freezing point of the solvent, and LF is called the latent heat of fusion of pure solvent per gram. So hope you can try to remember these relations. Numericals may be given in exam also, so you have to understand it properly and you have to remember this also. Next we will discuss the determination of molecular mass of solute from depression of freezing point. We already discussed that if W2 gram of solute having the molar mass, W2 gram solute having molar mass M2 is dissolved in W1 gram solvent, of molar mass M1, then we can write the molarity M is equal to 1000 into W2 divided by M2 into W1. That you have to remember. Now we know that delta TF is equal to Kf into M. So if we put the value of m here, so kf into 1000 into W2 divided by m2 into W1. So from here we can easily find out that m2. So here from here we can write m2 is equal to 1000 into W2 into F. 1000 into W2 into Kf divided by delta Tf into W1. So if we know the value of W2, Kf, delta Tf, okay, and W1, we can easily calculate the M2. So in this way we have completed the three colligative properties. One is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Second one is the elevation of boiling point, and third one is the depression of freezing point. So today up to this, thank you.